New members of parliament were sworn in on Wednesday. Among them, a 20-year-old from the Free State. Itumeleng Ntsube is the youngest MP and joins us now in studio. Itumeleng, thank you so much for coming through. Are you well?
I'm well, sir. And you?
Very, very, very good. How did you get involved in politics in the first place?
Okay, I became an activist late 2013 after just my stepfather had died in Free State. The reason why I'm into politics is to change the conditions of masses of our people, particularly the poor, weak and the marginalized.
Okay, and then at the present moment you're the outgoing Congress of South African Students in the Free State as well, outgoing chairperson of that. Tell us, what are the concerns of most of these students?
In secondary schools?
Yes.
Well, firstly, it's about quintile system, of course, segregation of others on private schools, others on public schools. Of course, it does have a lot of impact. Secondly, it's about free uniform that must be given to most of poor students in public schools. And it's about the education that does not serve them well at public schools at all. Because at public schools, initially we are taught how to seek for a job, not how to produce a job. For instance, when we get to the university level, if we had, perhaps, for an example, if we had economics as a subject at school and then we have mastered it at secondary school and then we went to a tertiary level. When you get tertiary level and then you perhaps get a PhD degree of economics, and yet still you're not able to solve the economics problems of the day. So those are some of the challenges that we find in our schools. And education system in particular. You've
also called for free education and quite a few other policy shifts as well. And you also called for the nationalisation of the schooling system. Why?
Yes, that is the basic principle of Congress of South African Students, that all the schools, private schools and model schools must be nationalized so that we have all government schools. When we've got all government schools, it then means the education system of South Africa will be central to government only. And when it's like that, we know that we'd have a common vision and a common mission as a country going forward.
Now, when you look at some of the government schools, let's talk about the public schools, which are the government schools. The pass rate for 2018 matric was 78.2% of 512,000 students for 2018. But the key is in 2007, when those students registered for grade 1, there were over 1 million. So the retention rate is where the problem is, isn't it? We're not keeping the kids in school. It's just a matter of what they're studying. It's also about keeping these kids in school.
Yes, I do agree with you on that thing. But equally so, I also am of the view that I'm also of the view that our parents and the community at large must ensure that all of us, particularly the students, are staying in schools. Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about you and your life, your studies at the present moment. You've just started university.
Yes, this year at the CUT in Bloemfontein. I'm doing education.
Yes. That's a passion of yours, education, of course. Now, what happens now? Are you going to move now to Cape Town?
Yes, we're located in Cape Town and we're hoping to. We're located in Cape Town and we're hoping to pursue our studies in Cape Town. At least on these 5 years, we're hoping to have at least a degree or master's. Yes.
Okay. And when you look at your party, the ANC, and the youngsters coming in there, do you see other young kids coming in, young guys your age, young ladies? Are you a standout? Are you standalone when it comes to the young people that are getting involved in politics within the ANC?
No, not at all. It's not only me alone. For instance, Free State, I think, has brought about 2 people, young people, by the way. The likes of Comrade Dikele Direk, which is part of parliament now. So it's not only me, it's about a group of young people being at the,
forefront,
making decision bodies in the ANC.
Are they listening to your concerns as young people within the party?
Well, they have to anyway, because we represent the majority of the people of South Africa. Yes.
Okay, and then your swearing in as well. Were you overwhelmed when it took place? Because I saw some of the I was watching some of the videos of you on YouTube, and it seemed you were a little bit overwhelmed there.
Yes, indeed. I was overwhelmed. In fact, it was a very jubilant moment, if I can tell, because in fact it's more of a privilege that at least we constitute part of the law-making bodies of our country, and we thank the ANC to bestow that trust in some of us.
That's the thing, hey, because it's about the trust that's been handed to you over, not by the ANC, but by the people of South Africa. And, what do you aim to do with this responsibility?
Okay, first thing first, I think as Parliament, what we must declare is free education first, and then we must also go for nationalisation of private schools and model C schools for us to have one basic education for all.
But some would say if you're privatizing, if you want to nationalize private schools, and then you look at the state of some of our, public schools, are you not trying to bring something maybe that's at a high standard to this standard?
No, we're not actually doing it. By the way, we're trying to improve the standard of public schools.
So why not focus on improving the standard of public schools?
The important part here is actually to improve, the infrastructure of the public schools per se, but equally is to have one united, free, universal education for all. Yes. But when you nationalize all these schools, it then means government will have put a lot of resources in the Department of Education, so that at least in all these schools you'd have your swimming pools, you'd have your tennis court, you'd have everything that private schools have, and then by then you'd have all the government schools.
Okay, let's talk about the buzzword is about the industrial revolution and all this lovely stuff. Do you think that we are, or do you think the government is doing all the right things, taking the correct steps to cater for this third industrial revolution? Because it has to involve young people, doesn't it?
Of course, I think government is on a right track to do so. We believe that at least we're towards the right steps of a fourth industrial revolution.
Yeah. What would you say to the president right now? What does he need to do?
Okay, I think president must declare free education first. We must make laws and legislation that are more pro-poor and young people in particular of South Africa.
Okay. Itumeleng, thank you so much. We look forward to engaging with you a lot more. Just when do you actually turn 21, by the way?
I'm going to turn 21 on the 9th of September this year.
On the 9th of September?
Yeah.
All right. Well done.
No, thanks for having us.
All right. Fantastic stuff. Itumeleng Ntsube, who was, of course, sworn in as an MP. He's actually the youngest member of Parliament joining us now.